and welcome back to my channel. My name is Wendy and I'm with Inspire Ministries, and I'm so glad that you are on my channel today. Friends, I just want to come in very quickly today and give you a word. In fact, I am in my car. It is a bright and sunny Friday afternoon, the Friday before Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. I hope that you are going to have a wonderful weekend and be completely spoiled by your family. But today, I just have for you something that I want to show you. Last night, I was part of a Zoom Bible study that I lead on Thursday nights, and I gave this word to the ladies, and I myself was even encouraged by my own words. And so I want to give you a encouragement, a challenge, a spurring you on this afternoon in your faith. I hope that it is a timely word. So let's just jump right into this video. Today I want to give you something out of the book of Ezekiel, and I'm not going to set it up for you a ton, but I am going to tell you that if you are looking for an inspirational couple chapters of the Bible, it is found in the book of Ezekiel. I have been in the book of Ezekiel, chapters 2 and 3 for the last 2 weeks, and I can't seem to depart from it. I cannot seem to change it up and be in much of anything else. And I have been in these 2 chapters for 2 weeks. And I feel like even still, I have not extrapolated. It's a fancy term for just wrung out everything that needs to be wrung out in these 2 chapters. But I am encouraged today. I want to bring you a word, and I hope that it will be timely for you as well, and you will be encouraged by it too. Now, Ezekiel is a great book. The prophet Ezekiel, he had a tough call on his life. Now, again, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time breaking down the specifics about it other than telling you to get into it for yourself. But it is a book where God had called Ezekiel to the exiles. He had a very hard call on his life, and it wasn't fun. It was actually a pretty depressing call, because we can see that when the Lord called him to be the prophet to the people in exile, he was setting this up in terms of telling Ezekiel not to be afraid, that there were going to be people that weren't going to pay attention to him. They weren't going to listen to him. They were going to have hard hearts, and they weren't even going to pay attention to his message. Can you imagine being called to a group of people, and you knew ahead of time that the message that you were going to give to them was something that they weren't even going to accept or receive or listen to? Can you even imagine how tough that would be? I don't know about you, but I would feel very depressed about that call on my life. I would feel very saddened by that I was going to go out and I was going to preach the news to all of these people, that I was going to preach that God loved them, and that there was a good God that saved, and that salvation was available for them, and they were going to have hard hearts and not even hear my message. I can't say that I would go in with a whole lot of encouragement to that call. But we see Ezekiel do just the opposite. Now, he was called to people that were in depression. They were in a very sad state for what it is that they were in exile. And so they were already, they had already assumed such a negative spirit. And so Ezekiel was called to give a warning to these people that they could repent and turn from their ways and turn to the Lord. And I love in chapter 3, verse 12. It is one of my favorite verses in the entire chapter. This is, again, the calling of Ezekiel. This was when the Lord had given him this word. In fact, we see in verse 1 of chapter 3, we see it says, "The voice said to me," so the voice of God said to Ezekiel, "Son of man, eat the words that I am giving you. Eat the scroll." Now, if we go back to chapter 2, verse 9, it indicates to us what kind of scroll he was asking him to actually digest, to consume. He says that on the scroll, both sides of it were covered with funeral songs, sorrow, and pronouncements of doom. And so he was given this order to eat the scroll, to actually digest the words of the Lord into his spirit, into his actual physical body. And it says that Ezekiel did just what the Lord had asked him to do. And he said, I opened my mouth and he fed me the scroll. And then it says in verse 3, fill your stomach with this, he said, and when I ate, it tasted as sweet as honey. Now, he was following the Lord's commands. He was doing what the Lord had asked him to do. He knew that he was called to a struggling people, to a depressed people. And yet here we find in verse 12 what I believe is the most beautiful part of this entire chapter. It says, then the Spirit lifted me up, and I heard a loud rumbling sound behind me. And then, almost as if it doesn't belong there, are these words that say in the NLT, and it's in parentheses, it says, may the glory of the Lord be praised in this place. We see that Ezekiel has gotten this vision. He's gotten this vision of the Lord and his glory and the angels that were surrounding him. And he says that I heard a loud rumbling behind me, as if, you know what, I have got the strength of the Spirit of God behind me. And for that reason, I cannot fail. And right in the middle of his call, right in the middle of doom and gloom and sadness, funeral songs and sorrow and pronouncements of doom and gloom, right in the middle of that, it says, almost seeming like it's out of place, may the glory of the Lord be praised in this place. And so I got to thinking about that today. How can you and I adopt this for ourselves? How can you and I look at a bleak report from the doctor and say, you know what? This report isn't what I would have hoped that it was, but may the glory of the Lord be praised in this place. How can we look out in our country today and see so much division and see so much ugliness and so much turmoil? And how can we stop? How can we freeze in that moment and say, may the glory of the Lord be praised in this place? One of the things that we see Ezekiel say over and over again throughout the entire book of Ezekiel is this. He said, thus saith the Lord. Every time he would bring a word to the people, he would say, thus saith the Lord. And what I encouraged my group last night in this Zoom class that I lead called Kingdom Mindset, developing a kingdom mindset, I encouraged them with two things. One, can we, with everything we say from our mouth, follow it up by saying, thus saith the Lord? Can you imagine how things might change if we had to tack that on to every single thing we said? I bet you we wouldn't do a lot of complaining. I bet you we wouldn't degrade anybody. I bet we wouldn't spend time gossiping about other people. And I bet we wouldn't look in the mirror and hate on ourselves as often as we do. Can we follow up everything that we say with the words, like Ezekiel says, thus saith the Lord? And then the second thing is, can we stop in the middle of our circumstance, in the middle of what seems sad and bleak and depressed? Can we sit in the middle of the things that cause us to have anxiety and dread and worry and say with confidence, may the glory of the Lord be praised in this place? I want to challenge you today, friends, to look at this scripture, to read it for yourself, to get this in the marrow of our bones, that you and I have the ability to look head on at the enemy and go, you know what? You do not win today. You do not have a place in my day today. Look at this Friday. Look at this beautiful sunshine that is out. I have no time to waste it on what the enemy says about me, or what the enemy thinks about me, or what anyone else wants to say about me that is negative or filled with ugliness. I have no time for that in my life. I have no space for that in my life. And I especially need to be able to speak it of myself. May the glory of the Lord be praised in this place. I know that it looks like right there in verse 12 that it's almost out of place, but that is such the perfect place for it to be. For us to see that right in the middle of turmoil, that right in the middle of a disgusting circumstance, of an ugliness, of worldliness, and of sin, we can say, you know what? May the glory of the Lord be praised in this place. Thus saith the Lord. I want to encourage you, friends, with those two things today. And I don't know what you're doing today, but man, it is a bright, sunny, gorgeous Friday. And a small little fun fact about myself, Friday is my favorite day of the week. So I encourage you to go out, do something great, love on your mom this weekend. And friends, have an amazing day today. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, like why haven't you subscribed yet to this channel? If you subscribe, I can continue to do content just like this every single week. Did you know that I put out videos every Tuesday, every Thursday, and a Bible study every Sunday night so that you can continue to be encouraged? Friends, I challenge you today to these two things, and I promise you that if you put them into habitual practice in your life, that you will be able to start seeing with new eyes and a renewed mind. Friends, like this video, share it with somebody that you love, and give this some love by commenting below. I would love for you to be part of my family and part of this tribe. I love you. I thank you for being here, and I pray that you have an amazing, awesome day with Jesus. Bye, friends. So Isabel, what do you think about today's video? Is it good? You want to give me a big high five? No? Do you want to give me a kiss? No? Do you love me? I sure love you. Look at how cute she is. I mean, really, you're my best friend. You're my best friend. Shake? No, she can't do any tricks. Say bye to the people. Say bye, friends.